Good morning, Raptor freaks. Lexi out here. It's Saturday morning, and the Raptors lost last night, and so did the Raptors 905. So both Raptors teams losing last night. We're going to cover reaction to both games. 905 losing to Cleveland Charge in their first game against them in Cleveland. They'll play them again tomorrow, as well as the Raptors will play the Magic tomorrow. This time, though, in Orlando tomorrow night. So we will have the previews tomorrow for tomorrow's games, even though they're the same teams that the Raptors teams lost to yesterday. Well, the Magic game was pretty much the formula that I was hoping. We competed. We had a lot of young players get out there and do different things. We get to see more time with Jemias Ramsey and various different people around the Raptors. This is what we need right now. In some ways, it's like the perfect formula. Play well, compete, don't embarrass yourself by getting routed by a lot of points. Let Raptors fans imagine how the Raptors would have done with Scotty Barnes, Jakob Pertl, RJ Barrett, and the full complement of the team. You see how we played against the Magic last night, how close it was. You can easily see if you add the players that are missing that we will beat their ass. So this is something we got to always think about for the rest of the season right now. If we're going to not get Scotty and Pertl back by the end of the year in any kind of way, I think we're going to get Scotty back before the end of the year, by the way, just so you know. We got to be ready to look at it that way. There's missing puzzle pieces in the puzzle, and that is a big reason why we're going to lose these games. There's a talent displacement out of the best talent on our team is not available, and they have a lot of talent on the Magic. You see the talent in Pablo Bonchero. I've decided that I'm going to disrespect Paulo, just like, everybody's going to disrespect Raptors here and there throughout the history of the franchise. I'm going to disrespect Paulo by calling him Pablo. In some ways, people are going to kiss his ass, try and make him a golden boy, maybe a little bit of a face of the league. Well, I'm going to call him Pablo. I've decided this. Yeah, I'm just going to get his name wrong. It'll be very reminiscent of all the crazy pronunciations of OG Anunoby and Jonas Valanciunas for over the years. Well, I'm just going to do what they did to those guys with their names, and I'm going to call him Pablo. And that's just how it is going to be. So if I say Pablo, you guys know what I'm talking about. This is just your warning right now. So, yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's see what y'all are saying. We've got all kinds of fun stuff today. Of course, we have the classic card of the day commissioned by Trevor J. We'll see that in a sec. Smooth, I hope you're here because we would like to see somebody get this card. We'll have to see who gets it. And just the stars of the game and any other business you guys want to talk about today. We'll get in, do the stream, and get the out because it's Saturday. And Scotty would tell us, touch grass. Yeah, touch grass. It's springtime in the city. And you need to get out there and touch grass, young man. That's what he would tell us, Scott. Oh, Scotty Barnes. Yes, Scotty sitting on the bench wearing his Raptors shirt. Very much cheering his team on, involved in the game, talking trash from the bench, coaching from the bench. Scotty, your presence is noted and very appreciated. This is a team man showing up, and he is practically coaching staff right now. Yeah, we also saw Jakob return the game last night with the cast on his hand. In fact, Scotty's cast looks slightly different than the black cast he was sporting around the West Coast road trip. He's wearing something that's a little bit less. So they took the main cast off already. This is a good sign. They take the black cast off of him, and they have a different cast on his arm last night. That may be because they're looking at how it's healing, and they don't need the hard cast on him anymore. He's got a soft cast on already. This kid's advanced. He heals advanced. He heals quickly. And, he's got a new cast already. He just broke his hand. He hasn't had that cast on for long. Well, they take it off, and they put a different thing on him now. Probably a little more breathable. Maybe not so itchy. You know how casts can get. You're like, I got to dig with a pen up my arm. I'm like, it's so itchy. Maybe he was like, it's itchy. Take it off. And they're like, all right, here's a soft cast, Scotty. Here, it'll hold your hand in place still. But yeah, we saw Jakob is definitely in a cast also on his left hand. You can tell his pinky is what got all messed up because of the way his cast is holding his hand in there. Really nice to see Jakob on the bench. and also smiling. I don't know. Jakob was looking like such a smiley guy on the bench. So he's definitely not upset and all in a bad place, thinking about the Raptors, his injury, in the future. No, Jakob sees the future is bright and he's got to wear his shades. That's right, Jakob. Put on your Raptor shades. Got to wear shades. Yeah. Timbuk 3. That's right. I'm old. That's right. All right, let's get into the chat. Let's see what y'all are saying. I'll do my stars. We'll do the classic card. That's right. Dana is here first. Canadian Dana is my favorite. She always has a 2-finger salute for someone. I wonder who it is for tonight, for yesterday. We'll have to see. Good morning, everyone. What a game. Like always, on to the next one. Let's go Raptors. Yeah, let's just go through the motions. Let's go through the motions of Darko's beautiful offense and see these youngsters try and complete it better and better. Of course, execution will be in different places. Darko saying this last night in the press conference after the game. You know, I'm always demanding these guys to get more perfect. I always feel like they could do a little bit better. And that's the coach I want coaching my team. These guys aren't resting on their laurels. Of course, they're not having success right now. But even if they get success down the road, they're not going to be stopping. They're going to continue to perfect and try harder. There's a lot of glowing things said about people like Jordan Wara and Grady Dick in the press conference last night. Meanwhile, Darko said, I'm not pleased. I'm not completely satisfied. I'm asking more of them. That's the coach. He's just on point with what he's saying. This guy is driving our team. He's developing them. And more I hear interviews with him, I fully understand that this guy is such a good coach for us to have. He was talking about how he wants to unleash Grady this summer with a very specified training program for him this summer. They're taking a lot of the tape and the things they've learned about him, especially in the last 2 months, and really crafting an off-season regiment for him to increase his development and get him to a new place. He used the term unleash. So you tell me, he wants to unleash Grady Dick this summer. He wants to unleash Grady Dick. I don't know. I could make a bad joke here, but I'm not going to. Yeah. But I love what Darko was saying. He's very jokey after the game. He's not upset about our 6-game losing streak, our longest losing streak of the year, tied with one earlier this season. He's not upset about it. In fact, he's cracking jokes. He's telling Doug Smith, yeah, you want to be taking minutes too, Doug Smith. Sounds like you want minutes on the team. Doug, you funny idiot. And even making light of Samson Folk remembering things that Darko said at the beginning of the season about Grady's development. He said, oh, you have a really good memory. You really do pay attention. Yeah, Samson Folk is paying attention. He's one of the better media people. He asks better questions. He's intelligent. And he actually asks basketball stuff and writes about basketball stuff instead of bullshit like Aaron Ben Rose. Yeah, we like Samson Folk. He's actually a basketball journalist. Yeah, and he is going to remember stuff. He has a good memory. Yeah, we like you, Samson. Yeah, we like you, guy. Cowboys here. Good morning, Lex. Raptor Freaks. Tap, tap, tap. Good game by the Raptors. Yeah. Yeah, I thought, listen, they got the number 1 pick, rookie of the year, Pablo Banchero. Pablo Banchero, the ballad of Pablo Banchero. He's the rookie of the year, apparently, at some point. In some ways, he's like, to me, he's like Scotty from the Bizarre universe. That's what he is to me, because Scotty is number 1 Superman in my universe. He's Bizarro Superman from that other Bizarro world. You know who Bizarro Superman is. If you're old head like me and you watch Super Friends, you know about Bizarro. Well, that's what Pablo is to me. It's like Scotty is the right Superman, Man of Steel in the NBA. And Pablo Banchero, I don't know how to fucking say his last name. I'm just going to butcher it. Yeah, Anunubi. Volunteers. I don't know how to fucking say their names. I'm going to say Pablo Banchero. Yeah, he's Bizarro Superman in my world, at least. Yeah, he didn't even have that good of a game, honestly. Their best player on the other side was Franz Wagner. Franz was my favorite player from the Magic. Meanwhile, Banchero, Pablo, is shooting 5 of 15 from the field. That's not very good shooting. He has 6 turnovers. They're trying to talk about how this guy is some sort of something. Come on now. 17 points and 6 turnovers? That's Pablo. Pablo, what are you doing, bro? What are you doing, man? I have more respect for Franz Wagner. And Jonathan Isaac loves taking that corner shot, doesn't he? The Magic are all about setting up Jonathan Isaac to take a corner three. I saw that play about 8 times last night. That was crazy. Yeah, let's see. Cowboys got a 2-finger salute for Jalen Suggs. There you go, Jalen. This is from us to you for Scotty. Yeah, nah, Jalen's our guy. In some ways, I've come around on Jalen Suggs. I'm not mad at him anymore. I understand the friendship of Scotty Barnes and Jalen Suggs at this point. And in some ways, the crazy competition of Jalen Suggs, he was a lot more subdued last night. Think about this. One of the times we played Jalen Suggs in the last year, he was absolutely maniacal. He was out there like he was playing like his clothes were on fire. That's how crazy he was all over the court, running around, yelling, really crazy, aggressive energy. Well, he didn't have that last night. In some ways, he played within himself. That he didn't play badly, but there was definitely a little bit less like so crazy. Maybe it's because of the way the game was. Maybe with the full complement of our team before that was very talented and had a lot of guys of esteem like Siakam and Anunoby, people like that. Suggs showed up with that dog craziness where he was just rabid. It was like he was foaming at the mouth like a rabid dog in some of the games we played against the Magic in the past recently. But last night, no, this dog had no teeth. This dog was kind of like, yeah, you guys suck. We expect to beat y'all, and I'm not going to act out. I'm just going to like play as a normal player and not be this maniacal crazy ass that I was in a past game against the Raptors. So that was interesting to me. Maybe Jalen Suggs has had some lessons around Jamal Mosley and the Magic staff. And he's like, you know what? I see where I might be hurting the team in some ways, and I'm going to dial it back. Well, we'll have to see. I mean, in some ways, I liked Jalen Suggs last night. He didn't bug me. He didn't rub me the wrong way. He didn't make me hate him because he's like yelling and crazy man. No, he was very much more just normal, like any other player on the court. And that's different. Maybe he's forgiven us a bit about the draft pick. I could speculate this. The media made this whole Jalen Suggs thing with the Raptors way bigger than it needed to be. In fact, I thought it was by design. That in some ways it's like they see the dog in Jalen Suggs coming into this league. ESPN doesn't want us to draft Scotty. So they very much orient the whole media leading up to the draft that year to say that we need to take Jalen Suggs. Well, we defy that order by the media because Masai's a G and he doesn't listen to what people tell him what to do. He does what's right because he understands what's right, and he drafted Scotty in defiance. Well, the media made it sound like we slighted Jalen Suggs. Well, we really didn't. And in some ways, in the aftermath of that draft, in the years since, we see Scotty's a rookie of the year and an all-star, and obviously was the best player in his draft class. Well, can Jalen Suggs be mad at the Raptors for picking him like that, especially when it's a guy he's best friends with? He actually does have very strong connection and friendship with Scotty. So you can't be mad at Scott because they're like this. And in some ways, he can't be mad at Masai because there's no denying Scotty is the best player in his draft. So I'm going to officially, since Jalen has kind of waved the white flag on his war against the Raptors with his bullshit, I'd like to talk to the Raptors Nation right now and say this shit's over, okay? This Jalen Suggs bullshit that has been going on for almost 3 years now is over. Just like Vince says, it's over, Raptors fans. Jalen Suggs versus Scotty debate is over. And it's because Scotty is overwhelmingly the right decision. It's very fucking clear. So how can Jalen Suggs be mad at us for not taking him? Because he'll tell you himself, yeah, y'all taking Scotty was the right decision. Look at what he's doing for y'all. I love him. And in some ways, I'm so happy in Orlando. I can't be mad. And I'm really happy for Scotty that he's a franchise player of Toronto at this point. So I'm going to declare this right now. The Jalen Suggs controversy from the draft 3 years ago is over, Vince Carter. And he's laid it to rest. So let's let the fan base lay it to rest also, talking about Jalen Suggs versus Scotty. It's obvious that it has been determined that Masai Ujiri, Bobby Webster are G's. They're geniuses. And they made exactly the right decision when we had a 4th pick in the draft. This is the thing. The Raptors don't get that high of pick a draft in recent years because we win a lot in the era of Masai. So when we got that really high pick in the era of Masai, the number 4, we didn't fuck it up. We didn't shoot to miss. We didn't draft to get a bust. We drafted to get the absolute best player in that draft, and we did. We did. That man's name is Scotty Barnes. That is right. There you go. So I can't give a two-finger salute to Suggs today, Cowboy, because this vendetta is over. Yeah, I love it. Yeah. Cowboy saying a bad G or Ramsey. All right. All right. This is an interesting question. Jemias Ramsey showing us something last night. The bank was open, baby. The bank was open. I love that three he hit. It looked like it wasn't going to go in, but then it like banked. Really interesting bank shot. When that shot went in like that, his three went in like that. I'm like, this guy is something else. This dude's a hooper. This guy is he's there's something in Jemias Ramsey that's in Emmanuel Quickly. In fact, when they're on the court together, it's a very fun synergy. It's a very like much part of that synergy we've been asking for a couple years. We want ballers. We want guys out there that hoop it up. And Emmanuel Quickly is definitely a hooper. Definitely a hooper. We know that. The potential with Emmanuel over the next couple of years is going to be fun to watch. But Jemias Ramsey, he's built from the same cloth. I don't have to say that. I mean, the defensive intensity of Jemias Ramsey in the first half keyed and sparked our team to take a lead. We were below the Magic in the first half, and all of a sudden, Jemias just dogged the hell out of them on defense. He just was like all on them. He's like relentless, and they coughed the ball up. And you have a couple hustlers. They'll bounce on the floor to get the loose balls like Grady Dick and Kelly Olynyk out there. Well, you get a hand in there, you get a little bit of a deflection. Well, good things happen. Turnovers happen for the other team, and you get in transition. And I really felt like Ramsey was a key catalyst to that kind of energy on our court and us coming and taking the lead and getting a good lead. I love that. That's a winning player. That's a winning player. So Jemias, really good defense and energy and intensity. If you bring that every single night in that kind of way, kind of like Chris Boucher does with the boards in his area of his role, if you can do this every other night, I see you as a backup point guard on this team in the future. In fact, I saw things from Jemias Ramsey last night. I was like, he's a keeper. He is a keeper. Look at the spirit. Look at the fight in him. Look at the intensity. And he's very professional. He's very good fundamentally. And I think he has certain skills on that court, like that windmill dunk the other day, that will impress Raptors fans if he plays for us more regularly. He's the kind of guy that's been in the G League for a little bit. He's gotten a couple of chances in the big league with the Kings, and he impressed them there. But this is the thing. He is one of the best players in the G League. He may not have been in our system with 905, but he may be on the cusp of being ready to be an NBA player. And I would like the Raptors to get him. In some ways, Jemias Ramsey, it was looking very Leandro Barbosa-ish. Doesn't he look a little bit like Leandro? Like I was looking at him, I mean, man, that guy's reminding me of Barbosa. He's getting up the court. He's got an engine. He's got that stronger upper body. Yeah, I'm really, really impressed with Jemias, and I think he's a keeper. A lot of the guys that have J first names, it's like all these guys coming off our bench right now with the J's, the Flying J's. Some of them are people I would like to invest in and keep around. Jonte and Jemias are two of the J's I'd like to keep around. Jonte also very big last time. We'll talk about him still. Now, I would talk about Abaji, but in some ways, Abaji wasn't as of note as Ramsey was, Cowboy. Yeah. Yeah, Cowboys saying the front office is in a good problem this offseason with these young players in the draft pick. Who stays, who goes? Trust in Masai. No, we are very flexible. We've got a lot of interesting things happening. In some ways, listen, the difference between last year and this year is we don't have a bunch of guys on this team that may not be really fitting with Scotty in the right kind of ways that are going to take up some salary. This is why Siakam and Anunoby had to go. Well, now it's very freeing. I'm sure that the GMing, without the cloud of like, what are we doing with our long-term guys that have been around? Without them there, that's one of the benefits. It's a lot more freeing. The canvas is more blank, and they get to fill in the color a little bit more differently this offseason. So I'm excited about that too. Obviously, we've got to invest in IQ. We're going to have to do a new deal for Scotty that's more long-term also. So there's going to be some important things we've got to make sure we get done. There'll be the draft, and there's going to be free agency. Yeah, and that's going to be interesting too. So we'll have to see what they do, Cowboy. I trust in Masai. Yes, I do. I've seen what Grady Dick's doing now. Trevor J is here. Our commissioner of fun, Trevor J, is in the house. And on that note, let's do the classic cosmic card of the day. Whoever writes it in. Okay, I see Smooth's here. This is good. Whoever writes it in the comments first will get 100 points added to their Raptor Freak trivia score for the season. And whoever wins that will get the prize that I have not seen yet that David's going to bring me on Tuesday when we go to the coach's open house. He has the prize for the trivia. He's the trivia champion himself. Well, he wanted to give the prize to the next champion. And he went and got it. I don't know what it is. So Fiercely Salsera, I have no idea what you're going to win if you win the trivia over Amit. Amit, I don't know what you would get because David's going to bring it to me on Tuesday, and we'll find out. All right, let's get the card. I'm rustling them for no reason, and I am drawing. I have not looked through this box in any kind of way. I don't understand what's in this box. I don't know. It's just the classic Cosmic card of the day. Let's see who it is. Let's see who it is. All right, okay, I see who that is. All right, this is going to be hard. I already feel like this one's going to be like super hard, and I don't even know if we should do it, but we'll try. All right, y'all. Who is this NBA player? Y'all going to say Russell Westbrook. I know you will, but it's not right. Man, I think this is too hard. I don't know if we should do this one, honestly, because this guy is really not a known player. Look, he's on the Sixers. We know this. So we'll have to see who it is. Are there any guesses here? This is ridiculous. I don't even know if I get it up close if y'all can tell who it is. And on the back, there's not another picture. There's just a bunch of writing. Ah, man, you know what? Otis Thorpe? Okay, Chris. Otis Thorpe is not right. Otis Thorpe never played for the Sixers. This guy played for the Sixers. I think he's played for the Clippers. He's played for a few teams. He's not really like, this is such a bad card for this game, honestly. Smooth, you got any ideas? I mean, it's really not a good card for today. In fact, I think I'm gonna call it right now. I'll take 2 more guesses, and if we don't get it, yeah, he's like, that's so hard. It is very, very hard. It's very, very difficult one. This is gonna be like, yeah, I would have never gotten this when I tell you who this is, honestly. So I don't know. This isn't gonna work every time, obviously, because there's gonna be just unknown players that are very good. Fiercely, come on, jump in here and get 100 points for your trivia, so you can beat Amit the Goat. Come on, Fiercely, you're tied with him right now at 5,900 points. You'll get at 6,000 if you can tell me who that is. It's impossible though. It really is. You know what I would do if I was a super researcher? Oh, I am, but I'm not playing right now. Is I would go on Basketball Reference and I would look up the Sixers franchise and I would look to see who all wore number 33. And I look at that list and I just start looking at it. That's what I say. Jermaine Jones? That's a pretty good guess. Actually, Fiercely, that's a pretty good guess, but it's not. He's a way older player than this guy. This guy's more recent, actually. This is the weird thing. These cards have all been from like the 90s for the most part, in the 80s. This one's actually a recent player. This guy has actually played in the 2010s. So that may give you a little bit more of the time frame with this. I mean, who's that in the background back there? That looks like, I don't know who that is. Craig Backens. I don't even, never heard that name in my life. Is that an actual NBA player, Craig Backens? This sounds like somebody who was on the Office, like a character on The Office. Na, 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 na. Michael Scott said, "Hey, where's Craig Backens? Why isn't he in The Office today?" Na, 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 na. Hersey Hawkins. That's an interesting guess. You see, Smooth's tapping out on this. All right, y'all giving me these clues. Y'all are gonna hate me for this. In some ways, this is so dumb. It's Robert Covington. Like, I mean, seriously, who's gonna fucking cares? Robert Covington. You know, whatever, Sixers. We'll let the Cosmic card of the day go away today. Yeah, that's too bad. In some ways, I feel like this is a cop-out. Should I do it again, y'all? I want to ask you right now. Should I do a different Cosmic card of the day? Just because Robert Covington is just such a, it's just like anticlimactic. This is just like, I feel like I got to upgrade my content because Robert Covington was the classic card of the day. This is bad. Yeah, put it closer, please. He still plays. Yeah, that's Robert Covington. Robert Covington, when he played on the Sixers, I believe he was on the Clippers recently. I don't know, but yeah, I think he still plays too. Yeah, I don't know. Either way, it's not a notable card. It is what it is. All right, let's just continue. We'll. This is just a poor excuse of a card of the day for sure. Definitely, they've been so thrilling with Kiki and J.R. Reed, and now we get this dud. Bleh. Dud of a card. All right, let's see. Trevor J. saying Gary was on fire. Jordan was also good. Magic stopped IQ from scoring, but still end up with double double. Yeah, IQ got a double double last night. 10 points, 10 assists. Yeah, IQ did not take over and score as much. It was really more of a Gary show last night, and I was happy with that. Gary Trent Jr. playing fantastic. Let's do my stars of the game now. My number one star of the game is Gary Trent. Gary Trent Jr. getting the interview after the game. He said in the interview after the game a couple things that were fun. He said that all year, him and Grady Dick have been working with Coach Ivo Siminovich on shooting stuff. It sounds like Ivo is the shooting coach and the guy who kind of works with the 3-point specialists, Grady and Gary. And that all season, Ivo has been teaching them footwork and ideas about how to take balanced shots and how to. Maybe Ivo's the guy who's in charge of the rules for them. As far as Gary is not allowed to do certain things these days, like he did last year under Nick, with dribbling, taking his dribble up and stepping to the side and stuff like that, or taking shots off balance, not going up, like maybe going off of 1 foot and kind of shooting weird ways. Nah, Evo's the guy who's talking to Grady and Gary and making sure that they're shooting fundamentally right in the way that Darko's philosophies is demanding of them. So I like that. I like Gary fleshing out more of the relationship between Grady and himself, saying that he is very much a mentor to Grady, that Grady asks him questions constantly. He's actually asked him about tattoos recently, that Grady is going to get a tattoo. And he's been asking Gary what tattoo he should get and whether it would look good. And Gary said that he has an idea that he says is going to be good, and we'll see it this summer. So expect that tattoo from Grady is what Gary was saying last night in his interview. Also, Samson Folk asking Gary Trent Jr. in the interview after the game last night, what is the next fashion trend coming out? Like, all right. I mean, I like the different kind of questions in the press. This is better than like the normal stupid ass questions they ask over and over again. But Samson literally asked Gary, hey, what's the next big trend coming out in the fashion world? And Gary's so funny when he answered it, because Gary's wearing these big, huge glasses, and they look awesome. They look awesome. He looks like a badass. He looks like an absolute badass. And Gary says, I don't know, man. Why don't you just ask the kids? Whatever they're going to be into is what's going to be the next fashion trend. He's trying to say, I get it. Samson's trying to say you set the trends, Gary. That's why he wants to know what the next trend is, Gary. I don't know. It's hard hitting journalism. It's better than a lot of the bullshit Grange and Ganter and Doug Smith are spouting at them. So I'll take it. I'll take it. I'm not upset about the fashion question from Samson Folk last night. It's pretty funny. All right, let's see. Gary's stat line is as such. He was 10 for 17, which is great shooting, 7 of 11 from 3. He was really dialed in on 3. And the thing about Gary with his 3-point shot right now is I can tell he's doing it more fundamentally cohesive, or like the same. He's doing it very much the same kind of way. And I was so joyous to see him hit the threes consistently, the ones that were open. That's what we need, Gary. We just need you to dial in and get your open threes to go through that hoop. And you're so good, you can do it. We have different guys on this team that are deferring to you. There are other guys last night that were getting open 3 shots, but you were nearby and just as open. And they were like, let's get it to Gary. He's the best shooter here. And boom, then he would hit it. I love that. That's the stuff I like. They were feeding you, Gary. He had the most shots on goal, 17, 10 of 17, 4 of 5 at the free throw line, 4 rebounds, 1 steal, 31 points, and 32 minutes for Gary Trent Jr. In fact, Gary has moved up the ranks of the Raptors all-time list for 30-point games. He is currently now tied with Damon Stoudemire for 9th all-time of most 30-point games as a Toronto Raptor. So that's a really big deal in some ways. Gary is now on a prolific scoring list for the Raptors of how many 30-point games he's had in his career with us. So that's fantastic. That is absolutely fantastic. So really, really proud of Gary. My second star of the game last night is Jordan Nwora. Jordan Nwora came in off the bench, and he was a spark also. He was very much fighting and doing all kinds of crazy stuff out there, doing a little bit of everything. In some ways, he was maybe a little aggressive on offense when he shouldn't have been. But I do like him taking so many threes because he does make it. He has that weird shot where he kind of pushes forward, and it doesn't look like he has a very good arc to go in, but he's kind of money with it too. And the crazy thing about his 3-point shot is it's a quick release. And sometimes he'll shoot it when guys are really near him. And I'm like, why is he shooting that? That's not really open. But he has a quick release, and that's why he can. Only 16 minutes, he got 14 points, 5 of 8 from the field, 3 of 5 from three. He made his only free throw, 5 rebounds, 2 steals, and a block, a plus 11 in the game last night for the Raptors. The best plus minus for the Raptors, Jordan Wara. Like I said, Darko was critical of those guys, even though they did really well. He said, look, this is great. I love what Jordan did out there. And yeah, I saw him get 14 points. It was fantastic, but he can do better. And I expect better from him in the future because I want to develop him and make him a better and better player. So there you go. Darko's happy with Jordan and Grady, but he thinks these guys can be better, and he's going to put more pressure on them to be more perfect. So I love that. The third star of the game for me is Jahmi'us Ramsey. I talked already a bit about Jahmi'us, so let's look at his stat line. He had 18 minutes out there. He got 10 points. He was 3 of 5 from the field, 1 of 2 from three, the bank, 3 of 4 from free throw, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 2 fouls, a +5. Yeah, I thought that, like I said, Jahmi'us was just a really good spark, and I love like how he kind of played within the flow of the game. In some ways, there was a lineup he was out there in with Jonte, Jordan, Bruce, and Oshai. And I was like, man, this lineup is really not got there's no RJ, there's no Emmanuel, there's no star out there. There's not even a Gary out there who's supposed to be the main guy to score for that unit. In some ways, some people may make the argument maybe it should be Oshai. I'm like, nah. In some ways, he really is playing more of a defensive game these days. His offense isn't as refined. In some ways, I'd be like, well, Jordan, he's been very aggressive to try and score. But no, the most natural scorer in that 5-man unit in the middle of the game last night was Ramsey. In some ways, that guy should have been the focal point of the offense that, like, much like Gary, they're trying to dote to and get him open and get him shots. Well, they should have done the same damn thing with Ramsey. Like that lineup, I would actually say Ramsey and Porter are the two guys that should have been looking to take their shots more than anybody else. But I'm very, very impressed with Jahmi'us Ramsey, as I said before. And I hope he has a future with the Raptors franchise. I really do. Really, 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 really do. Yeah. All right. Let's keep going with the comments and let's see what else y'all are saying here. Yeah. Gary was awesome, Trevor, wasn't he? He was really good. Emmanuel, let me look at him since you mentioned him in his double-double. Emmanuel, 35 minutes, 3 of 9 from the field, 1 of 3 from three. He didn't shoot the best. 3 of 6 at the free throw line. Emmanuel was missing free throws last night. In fact, the missed free throws by him and Olynyk were very, very kind of odd. In some ways, some of the people in our Facebook chat last night were making jokes that they're shaving points to make sure we lose because Kelly missed 2 free throws in a row at the line. He's normally an 80% free throw shooter. And Emmanuel quickly missing free throws like he did last night was weird too because he missed 3 free throws out of the 6 he got. 3 rebounds, 10 assists, 2 steals, 2 turnovers, a -12, and 10 points. Yeah, Emmanuel was our worst plus minus. No, wait, he wasn't. Grady was. But he was one of our worst ones. It is what it is. Emmanuel can't be absolutely perfect every night. And you know what? On a bad night, he got a double-double. So come on. Come on. He got on a bad night. I think that's what Trevor's comment is based on. He's saying that, yeah, he didn't have a good night, but he still got a double-double. So kudos to you, Emmanuel, quickly. Let's see. Cowboys saying, fun fact. It's funny how the NBA doesn't allow players to wear 69. Nobody wears 69 in the whole league. Is that true? I want to think that somebody's worn number 69. I think that that's not totally true. Is it? They don't let them wear 69? That may be true. I know that they let them wear it in the NFL. There's people in the NFL that wear that number. So I don't know. That's weird. I'll have to look into this, Cowboy. It's true. I can't think of any player in my mind in the history that has worn the number 69 in the NBA. You know what? Let's do some research. Why not, Cowboys, since you brought this up? Let's see. Can an NBA player wear the number 69? Let's see what it tells me. Googling. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, wow. Okay. No NBA player has ever worn the number 69, which is believed to be implicitly banned due to its sexual connotations. The NBA has never confirmed this, though. So it's true. They don't, but you know what? This doesn't actually say that it is banned for sure. It's just that nobody has ever worn it, and I wonder why. I wonder why. So it says there's no set in stone rule that forbids NBA players from using this jersey number. However, some do associate this number with bad luck. Meanwhile, some think this number may not be too family friendly since it's synonymous with a sexual position. Well, well, well. You learn something every day. Now, they are saying on here that it maybe it's not that the number is banned, it's that the high numbers, like the number 69, are just not used because they not normal numbers. So you don't see the number 70 or the number 71 or any of those kind of numbers usually around the league anyway. So it may not actually be that the number 69 is banned. It's just that it's in a range of numbers that just don't get in the NBA very often. Like Jamias Ramsey's wearing number 37 right now for the Raptors. That number has never, ever been worn by a Toronto Raptor until Ramsey has worn it this time. So he is absolutely the only 37 that's ever played for the Raptors. There may be high numbers that are like this, number 69 and above. So it's saying here that players cannot wear number 69 above due to potential concerns over inappropriate offensive associations. Well, why would 67 or 70 or any of those numbers, like the 70s, do that? Because I don't remember anybody wearing the 70s numbers either for the most part. I think it's just that range of numbers is just not used. Now, here's a question. When was it outlawed? They're saying that David Stern allegedly outlawed the number in 2007. Apparently, Dennis Rodman wanted to wear the number 69 for the Mavericks, but David Stern said no. Nobody has apparently wanted to. So there's a little interesting tidbit we're learning from me just doing some research on this subject right now. Apparently, Dennis wanted to wear it for the Mavs in the mid 2000s, and David Stern told him no. And then that probably was like the unofficial ban and never going to happen. So, yeah, well, of course, Dennis Rodman wanted to wear 69. Of course he did. I've seen the Rodman World Tour. He's my guy. I love Dennis. There you go. A little learning stuff today with Cowboy setting off my mind to go research. Dana's saying, yes, my two-finger salute goes to Jalen Suggs. We still don't want you, buddy. Yeah, I'm glad Scotty in some ways wasn't playing last night because whenever Jalen shoots free throws, our crowd starts chanting, Scotty's better. Scotty's better. Yeah, we don't need to antagonize Jalen Suggs like this. Raptors fans, have y'all realized that Jalen Suggs is crazy, like aggressive and maybe slightly psycho? We don't need to antagonize him like this. And somebody's we're in a rebuild. We can't get all swaggery and be like, yeah, we're badasses. We can talk shit and we can back it up. We can't right now. We will hopefully soon enough. But right now, we don't need to antagonize people like Jalen Suggs by saying, Scotty's better. So if anybody was doing that last night at the free throw line, I'm glad he didn't hear you. I'm glad you, and Scotty wasn't playing. So it's in some ways it's different just because of that. Cowboy saying later, Lex. Okay, Cowboy, come and ask me about 69 and then take off. Okay, I get it. He's got to work probably. That's what it is. Tada Services, 647-833-6844. If you need some help, handyman help, cleanup help, Tada and Canadian Cowboy can come to your house and help you as low as $89 starting rates. Yeah. You got a busy day at work? Okay. Everyone have a blessed and safe day. Let's go. Let's go, Bradley. I know you'll probably be listening to me still, but being at work now, so you can't type in the chat. We love you, Bradley. We love your family, Sasanya, everybody, your brothers, your sisters, your kids, everybody. We love the Cowboy family. That's right. We do. That's right. Chris is saying, hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Hi, Dr. Nick. So decent effort, but all the new mix out there was a mistake. What? Mistake prone. Oh, I mean, okay. You mean it was a mistake prone? Yeah, it was mistake prone. I thought you meant that Darko made a mistake. Ramsey looks okay out there, but lots of small stuff to get excited about. Yeah. Yeah. Really, once again, I'm going to be on this whole winning culture tip because this is something that we need to keep on top of while we're in a rebuild, while we're starting to build back up our team and get towards like being better and better. Well, we want to recognize the behaviors on the court that are winning culture and the behaviors that are losing culture. And the more winning behaviors that we see on the court, we want to endorse and celebrate. And the ones that are like that, we don't need to be doing. The missed free throws. That's a good example of losing culture. A lot of turnovers and not taking care of the ball is a part of losing culture also. I would say this, Chris. The thing that bugged me the most last night was the weak passes. In fact, we were talking about it in the Facebook chat a bit, that the Raptors are not looking around when they're taking passes. There's still problems with inbounds passing. The other team, if they're dogged and they're really guarding the inbounds pass, we can cough it up and give them an easy basketball. And I hate that. That is losing culture. That is losing culture. It's winning culture by the Magic to be dogs and screw up our inbounds and get a quick basket. It's losing culture to allow that to happen. And one of the things is I want these guys to put more on the ball. Either you pass it faster and stronger so they can get somewhere. You weak ass passes, people jump in the passing lane and they steal the ball. It's a transition basket going the other way. So the Raptors, no half assing. What is it? Like, ain't no half stepping? Is a song from the 80s, a rap song. I believe that's what is that? Big Daddy Kane, I believe. Yeah, ain't no half stepping. Yeah, we can't have no half stepping. If y'all gonna pass it, you put it in full effect and get that ball to them. You got to make sure. Now, one way to make sure the ball will get to the person you're intending to pass to is really read the floor. One of the gifts of Scotty Barnes is he can tell where everybody is. And y'all are passing it to people that have people that are kind of lurking. They're trying to act like they're not paying attention, but then they'll turn around and just jump in and steal it. There's a lot of that going on. You need to get savvy, young Raptors, and understand when there's lurkers ready to pounce on stealing the ball from weak ass passes. So stop throwing the ball weak ass and maybe be aware of lurkers is what I would say to improve the turnovers that are happening between passing. There shouldn't be no weak ass passes, and watch out for lurkers is what I'm saying right there. Yeah. Chris is saying Barnes over Suggs, baby. That's right. Forever. And besides, IQ is way better too. I still say all front office moves and trades have been top rate. Yeah, I feel like it too. I mean, listen, we're getting some really interesting players in. I feel like DJ Carton's very interesting. It's too bad he's hurt. Ramsey has been fantastic. I feel like the ideas of bringing guys up from our 905, like Porter and Javon, Freeman, Liberty, has been cost-cutting moves, but also rewards for these guys for great seasons on 905. So yeah, I like how we've done things. I feel like there's been way better rhyme or reason to how we've utilized the 905 this year. Last year was absolute chaos. It didn't make any fucking sense. And we absolutely dropped the ball on the synergy of what you're supposed to do with your G League team and your regular roster team and how they kind of cross over. In some ways, there was a disconnect. And I think it was very much on purpose by fuckface Mick Butthole Mouth that is coaching the Sixers right now. That we've gotten way better production and things happening between the 905 and the Raptors this season than last year. Absolutely. And I think it's evidenced by the pass of Mo G and Javon Freeman Liberty and the little bit of time down there by Jonte Porter also. So, yeah, I like what we've done. I think it's very smart to cost cut. In some ways, we could have gone like other teams and gotten signed big free agents that just don't make any sense right now and spend money on them. Like, what? Why would we do that? No, get your young guys, pay them dirt, and see if any of them are hungry enough to make this league even higher and get bigger contracts. Because that's what it's all about with those guys like Freeman Liberty and Porter and Mohamedou. Yeah. James is here. Good to see James stopping in. He's got really good questions. He's had some fantastic questions the last couple of weeks. Let's see what James is asking this morning. What's your thoughts on Nikola Topic? Great passer, not quick, but finds a way to the rim. Not the best three-point shooter. Well, James, you have unlocked a segment of the day. We're going to do my scout of the day. I have seen Nikola Topic a little bit in World Cup last year for Serbia. And but not a whole lot, really. Actually, I don't know. Well, that was Jovic, actually. I'm going to get him and Jovic confused, I have a feeling. So I'm going to go look at Topic. First time scouting on Nikola Topic real quick. He's 18 years old. He is Serbian. He is, let's see, he's 6'6", and he weighs 201 pounds. He's a point guard, according to his Wikipedia. And he's been playing professionally for about 2 years. He's been on a Serbian team. And he is an ABA champion already in their league, and he is a Serbian Cup winner. as of this year also. So he's got a couple of accolades already with the Serbian national team. So yeah, all right, let's go scout him. Let's go look at him on YouTube, getting a fresh look of the prospects for the draft this year. And James wants me to go look at Nikola Topic, so we'll go look at him. I'll give you my first opinion on him from the first thing I'm seeing. All right, this is from when? 7 months ago? Is there something more recent? Let me see if there's anything more recent with Nikola Topic. Actually, I don't want to look at it that way. That's not the best way to look at it. Let's see. Where is it? All right, we'll just do the first one. All right, let me see. This is an international play. This is Spain versus Serbia. He's gotten the steal. He's on a fast break. He dunked it. So 6'1". He's got a little bit of dunks. It looks like his arms are long. He has a very long neck. I thought Nikola Topic was actually a center or forward. I'm actually surprised that he's a guard. I really thought he was a big guy. I guess because of Jovic and Jokic and the Nikola name. I was like, oh, he must be like a 6'10" guy. But no, he's not. He's a guard, and he's very speedy. He he looks kind of like Goran Dragic to me, which is kind of annoying. A little bit looking Goranish. I'm like, oh, that's not points for him. Let's see what he does on this play. Oh, he gets a steal. So he jumped in the passing lane and kind of is a shit disturber and ran down the other way. In some ways, that is something we've been doing a lot lately, and that would be exciting. I would wonder about his body, James. He looks slight of frame. He doesn't look very strong. He's definitely going to need the Grady workout that happened around December. I don't know if that – I think that may hurt him in some ways. I don't know. He looks very fast. His ball handling looks pretty good. The FIBA ball looks weird. I don't know. I don't like this guy, James. I'm not that interested in him. In some ways, I don't see how he would fit with our team because you know what? I don't want a guard like him. In some ways, you get Europeans, you don't get guards. You get forwards and centers because usually the guard is not the guy. There are exceptions. There are good European guards, but for the most part, when you go to that continent, you're looking for a forward or a center. So I'm not really big on European guards, is what I'll say on this also. So I wouldn't endorse getting Topic. At least I don't think he would be a good fit for the Raptors because in some ways he doesn't look like the kind of player that I don't know if these highlights aren't really showing a lot of shooting. They're showing a lot of steals and playmaking and transition baskets because of steals. And in some ways that, we've got that covered with some of the guys we've got already. And I wouldn't spend a high draft pick on this guy. So I'm going to say I'm not interested. And some of it is that I don't know how much he's going to totally translate to the new league. Because in some ways, the concerns I had about Grady Dick last year are the same concerns I might have for him for this league. But I was wrong about Grady. So, yeah, thanks for the scout. Yeah, Dana's saying Pablo. Yeah, we're going to call him Pablo. Pablo Banchero. They're calling him Banchero, like Banchero. I know they call him Banchero, right? That's his name. So I'm going to call him Banchero. Pablo Banchero. What a great NBA player. He's Scotty from Bizarro World is what he is. He's like Bizarro Scotty. Yeah, it's weird. Trevor's saying we are going to be great next year. I saw a lot of good things with the young players. So for everyone who don't like what's happening, just relax. Okay, Frankie Goes to Hollywood. Relax, don't do it. Getting all mad about a tank into it. Relax, don't do it. When you gonna lose? When you gonna lose? When you gonna lose? Any kind of 80s parody I can do on this channel, I will do. Yeah, yeah, I'm with this. This is the rest of the year. We want to get L's for the rest of this year. In fact, let's go look at our current standings for how we're going to do with our pick. And let's see what the current percentage is after last night's loss for us to keep our pick. It actually did go up, y'all. It went up quite a bit last night. We were at 35%. We're going to keep our protected pick from the San Antonio Spurs. Well, now it's 40%. So we got 5% added to keeping our pick because we lost the Magic last night, y'all. So we have a 40% chance as of today to keep our protected pick from the San Antonio Spurs. So that's not a horrible thing. Now, there's two spreadsheets on this page on Basketball Reference that I'm looking at. And this is the other thing that I'm not saying correctly is that these guys, the Raptors, actually have an 8% chance to get the number one pick. that in our position in the draft, where we are in the lottery, we could get the number one pick. We have an 8% chance to get the number one pick right now. We have a 8% chance to get the number two pick, a 9% chance to get the number three pick, a 9% chance to get number four pick. So this is really good stuff. But I'm saying right now, with the way that things are going in the standings, we have a 40% chance to keep our San Antonio pick. That's 5% points higher than yesterday. It was 35% chance we're keeping our pick. Now it's 40. So you see the fruits of our losing right now and keeping that San Antonio pick. There you go. So 40% chance we're keeping our pick, baby. Let's go. All right, let's see. Chris is saying OG came back to play, which is good to hear, but I don't know. His shooting arm is messed up. This is something that, it's interesting. The New York media, the New York team, the New York fans, they want him back because he really does add up to more of a chance to win for the Knickerbockers. But OG is the kind of guy that takes a little bit of time to come back. In fact, he's extra. Some guys come back quick. Scotty, Kyle Lowry, these guys can heal really fast and they will come back quick. Watch, Scotty might come back. But OG's the opposite. OG's the kind of guy that he will heal, and then he needs like another week still. And I think the Knicks' pressure to bring him back may fuck him up. You guys don't want to do this. Just understand, in Toronto, we babied the hell out of him. And you don't rush OG to come back from injuries. You let him come back on his own timeline. In fact, you may be mystified. You'd be like, OG's been gone so long. When is he coming back? And when you get to that point, you may be like, holy crap, now he's going to come back. You guys may have brought him back too soon. In some ways, the surgery he had on his elbow, it has staples and things, and you got to heal that part. And what's happened is he played in his first game back, and he felt pain and was holding his arm noticeably in the game. That's part of it. Now, doctors in the Knicks social media spaces are saying, well, that's a normal thing in his procedure to have some sort of pain in his arm where he might hold it. That makes sense. But they need to watch out. Tim Thibodeau. Don't be like Nick Nurse, butthole face, and destroy OG's career or overplay him right now. Y'all need to baby the hell out of him. If you're not playing the playoffs yet, rest him. Seriously, if y'all need to over rest him, just do it. Trust me. It'll be better for you, honestly. OG did not play a single game in our playoff run. He had an appendicitis. He was out. So just know that OG is like this. And Knicks fans, you may want him back really bad right now, but sacrifice the short term right now and don't give a fuck if he plays or not. Because you want him for the playoffs correctly. You need to let him heal correctly also. Don't rush him back. It's going to be really, really stupid if you done. You might have already fucked it up by brushing him back already. So be careful, Knicks Nation. Don't fucking push it with OG. Let him come back on his own timetable. Because you'll be thankful if you do that. If you don't, you're in danger in a big, bad way. Seriously, we didn't fucking baby his ass for 7 years here to have y'all fucking burn him out in the first 6 months of having him on the Knicks. So fucking do it right. We understand the rules of OG. And y'all need to let him convalesce for the proper time. And if you don't, well, you're going to get what you get. Jack Armstrong would say, you get what you get. That's such a great statement in the history of the Raptors. And that's for all the Sixers fans out there. You get what you get. That's right. Nameless is here. Good to see my paisano, my Italiano friend. That's right. Such a beautiful outcome last night. If Toronto had continued to try and win after Scotty injury, I'd seriously be doubting our leadership's ability. No, you know what? Yeah, honestly, we don't have a chance. We had a good chance with Scotty still around and Jakob, which is the way it was when Scotty got hurt. Jakob got hurt after him to go for the play-in and get play-in experience. But, things happen, and that's like life. You have something happen in your life that's not the best. You got to adjust and change your plans. And, it's better to be quick on your feet to change your plan in an instant than to be stuck on some plan and fight against the reality of the situation and what it is. So just really good on your toesness by the Raptors franchise, the front office, the players, the coaching staff, with the ever-changing terrain of what the Raptors season should be and what the goals should be. The goals have changed since Scotty broke his hand. And it is what it is, my paisano. I love you, my guy. That's right. Smooth is saying, good morning, all. 14 more of these to go. Is that it? Only 14 more games? Oh, home stretch. I'm not even counting them down. Hard to watch, but Toronto will be back on track next season. Wouldn't surprise me if they win 45 at least. I love that. A lot of this will be contingent on good health. A lot of this will be, on some good breaks. I hope that the schedule is friendlier this year. In some ways, I don't think it will be. I think that the age of them doing fucked up shit with the schedule is just going to be part of the thing that we have to deal with every year. The referees will be corrupt and not totally consistent and doing weird ass shit, and the schedule will be weird also. I get it. In some ways, the schedule being so shitty to us is actually going to work in our favor. We're going to play the Washington Wizards in Washington soon. But hey, we got to play them on the second night of a back to back, traveling from Toronto, playing SGA and the Oklahoma City Thunder the night before. So, yeah, you tell me they didn't screw us up with so many back to backs against Eastern Conference foes, against like Milwaukee, Philadelphia, all these teams on the second night of a back to back all season long. Every single one of our back-to-backs was an Eastern Conference opponent, it seems like this year, and them getting set up with an easier schedule because we have to travel overnight or something like that. We're going to have to go from Toronto on Friday night to Washington to play the Wizards on this Saturday. Yeah, it's annoying. It's very annoying. In some ways, that'll help us lose to the Wizards. All right, let's see. Chris is saying also, Lex or anyone, Paul versus Tyson in this boxing match. I sort of hope Tyson wins. I'll talk about this. In some ways, I don't normally want to talk about this, but this is Mike Tyson. So I will talk about it because Mike Tyson's from my era, and I do have some knowledge about Mike Tyson because he's somebody I look up to. Honestly, somebody would say, what? You look up to Mike Tyson? Yeah, I do. Because you don't understand, Mike Tyson is a really, really crazy, amazing story. I mean, sure, there was some really ugly shit when he was younger. He had a rape trial with Robin Givens, and he had all kinds of really screwed up things. But this man came from somewhere that was really crazy. The reason why I respect and love Mike Tyson, and he's such a great role model, is because he conquered his mind. Yeah, it's a crazy thing. This is a street kid. He was abused. He grew up on the hard knocks. He was fighting people. He was selling drugs. He didn't have any good influences on him. He was a criminal. He was at total anarchy and war in his soul. And he found a trainer, and he Luduva and those guys, and they came in and they helped him, and they got him better, and they disciplined him, and he became the greatest fighter in the 1980s in the whole world, the best fighter. Well, he still had problems inside. He still had issues with drugs and different things, I'm sure. But you know what he did in his later age? He went to counseling, and he got on psychedelics. Honestly, this is a big thing about Mike Tyson that people don't understand. Mike Tyson took shrooms. Mike Tyson took acid. Mike Tyson took hallucinogens. And when you do that, sometimes you get outside yourself and you see yourself from the outside, and you have all of a sudden you have like a moment, a light bulb. And things just click, and all of a sudden you understand something. Well, he's enlightened. He's enlightened through psychedelics. And at this point, Mike Tyson has conquered his demons. In fact, he's the kind of person that people need to go talk to if they're in a bad place like he was when he was younger, because he can give them the life perspective that can help them deal with it. Now, sure, he had to have all the money in the world, make all the mistakes in the world, have legal criminal problems, and really make a mess of his life and kind of be a douchebag and not a very good person. But at this point, if you talk to Mike Tyson, he's absolutely an amazing person. He's a humanitarian, and he's a lot more caring and loving and sweet than he's ever been in his life. I love the journey of his story because really, like I said, this dude came from the darkest places of hate and disgust and pain. And he's become a very joyous, comfortable person that's loving and sweet. And that is the kind of story arc I love to hear about a person's personality. Now, he's going to kill Paul, Logan, or whichever one it is. You need to write the whole name in because I don't even remember which dumbass Paul it is. If it's Jake or Logan, I don't give a shit which one of the Paul brothers it is. He's going to get his ass beat. I don't care how old Mike Tyson is. That man is trained the way he's trained, and he will pop him once, and that motherfucker will hit the ground. I'm serious. I'm serious right now. If you really were asking me to try and tell you who's going to win that fight, it's going to be Mike Tyson. He's already said, I'm going to put that motherfucker into the WWE like his brother. So I guess it's Jake he's fighting. He's fighting Jake Paul because Logan's already in the fucking WWE. He said, yeah, I'm going to end his professional real career and put him in that fake wrestling, is what Mike Tyson's already saying. So there you go. There's my little snippet on this. And yeah, Mike Tyson's amazing story. Seriously, learn more about Mike Tyson's life. Learn about his pigeon racing and all that other crazy shit. And you'll be really shocked to hear just how enlightened he is at this point. If you hear him in interviews, of course, he's a big cannabis advocate. He smokes a lot of cannabis too. James is saying Suggs is a solid starter, not a franchise like Barnes. Yeah. Yeah, that's it right there. I mean, I could have eyeballed this coming in the draft. If you put all the top picks in the draft that year and stood them around in a room without knowing their names or anything about them, I would have pointed to Scott and said, that guy has an NBA ready body. That guy has a lot of potential. If I saw him move around and like how agile he was and how quick he was, I'm like, yeah, that's the guy you want to draft. I don't have to know their names. I don't have to know anything about their college. I just have to look at their physical bodies and maybe their physical ability as far as how fast they run. And I'll be like, yeah, that's the guy. Draft Scotty, that guy right there. I don't know what's his name, Barnes. Yeah, draft him. He's the one. If I eyeballed it without seeing any of their college career, just seeing the physical specimens that they are, I'd be like, that's the dude right there. Even standing next to Evan Mobley, I would have said the same damn thing. Kate Cunningham, all the goofy asses standing there. I would be like, that dude right there. Look at his shoulders. Look at his shoulders. That dude has shoulders like Dwight Howard. He is going to be a very big, strong man. He's not even 20, and he has shoulders like that already. Yeah, he's going to be very strong. Oh, wait, look at how he moves. He moves like a cat. Oh, yeah, you got to draft him. It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. How did he fall to 4? Masai's a genius. They wanted Scotty in Orlando. They wanted to write the Florida boy plays for the Florida team on the Orlando Magic. Well, we fucked that up. Masai said, no. We draft before Orlando. Our ping pong ball went better in the lottery. We're taking Scotty. And that's why they got so mad. That's why the media got mad. That's why sheep Raptors fans that follow the media's opinions got all bent out of shape because the media taught you to want Jalen Suggs. But Masai knew what was best all along. That's why we should trust in Masai, Raptors fans, and not what the media is telling you guys what you should fucking think. Seriously, that's a perfect example of this. Masai Ujiri was a G. He went against the NBA storyline that they wanted Scotty Barnes to be Orlando Magic, and he stole him before they could pick him, and they gave Jalen Suggs to them instead. Because that's what they were wanting to do. They were saying, yeah, you need to take Jalen Suggs, Raptors. You need to take Jalen Suggs, another short guard. Yeah, you have a history of it. You have Fred VanVleet. You got Damon Stoudemire. Your history is small guards. That's your tradition, Raptors. Fuck that shit. We're going to make a long arm monster Vision 6'9" team instead. You guys got Lowry and VanVleet starting your backcourt. You have small guards. That's your signature, Toronto. It should just be your signature forever. So draft Jalen Suggs. No, we ain't listening to you, bitch. We know who's the best player in this draft right now, and it's this guy, Scotty Barnes. So we're going to draft Scotty. That's the defiance of the Raptors organization, the brilliance of Masai and Bobby, and this is why y'all should trust them because they do things that the league wants to write storylines, and, well, they didn't get it. They didn't get it. No, they didn't, and that's why I'm so glad that they run this team. Chris is saying, I think Lowry was leaving, and the press just thought, oh, they will draft a point guard, Suggs. They have so many forwards anyways, but our front office said, fuck you, and got the beast. Scotty is far better than a player, far better player. Yes. Chris saying so much words, a very similar thing what I'm saying right now and backing it up. I mean, they wanted to keep the legacy of small guards for the Raptors, so we have a built-in disadvantage against the other teams in the league. And we're like, nah, fuck this shit. We ain't doing this. We don't want a liability. Y'all trying to give us a liability, and we see the best player in the draft is this other guy. Yeah, Stargate saying exactly, Chris. And Bobby and Masai about to do another FU to the league again, a big one. People are going to be shocked. They are about to be MC8, Ice-T up in here. Let my ass off. Gangster move. Hey, all right. You're talking about Ice-T, original gangster? OG, original gangster. Ice-T, original gangster. Running through the killing fields to the tower. That's right. That is right. Yeah, I love this prediction, Stargate. I honestly think you're right. I think that because we're, first of all, we got to protect the pick from San Antonio, and then we'll see what happens if we're in the top 6 and who we draft and how that all goes down. Yeah, we could get another Scotty Barnes kind of move in there. Yeah. We did not know the classic card today. It was Robert Covington. How boring. How boring is that? So boring. Oh, my gosh. So boring. Covington. Fiercey's here. Good morning, fam, and happy Saturday. Enjoying the journey. That is all. There you go. She's got a game this weekend that's more important. with Fiercey Salsera Jr. I don't know if it's this weekend, but it's coming up. Let's see. Let's skip all this. Yeah, nobody knows who it is. It's too bad. The angle was not clear, but it makes sense. Yeah, Robert Covington. Lame classic card of the day, honestly. Trevor's saying, do another card. That one was bum. That was bum. All right. You know what? Because he's the commissioner of fun and he is in charge of this. I will take direction from Trevor J, and I will do a second classic card of the day. So let's see what happens when I take the second classic card of the day. Oh, wait a second. This is weird, guys. This is like a pack of 5. This is in plastic. And it's very strange. There's a lot of cards in here. So, all right, we're going to get a little cheer up today. We got a few cards. It looks like you guys will see who this is. So maybe this will be right. Oh, wait. No, wait. This is one card. Okay, I'm confused. Oh, wow. You know what this is? Holy crap. All right, well, it's an easy one. I think y'all will get it right away. All right, whoever answers this first gets 100 points. So tell me who this is. Oh, who is that? That's too easy. That is too easy. Who's going to write that in first? Who is that, y'all? Y'all know who that is. That is so easy. Come on. You know what this card is? It's a piece of this guy's jersey. You see that little red spot in there? That's why it was in plastic. This is a card with a jersey piece in it. There you go. Fiercey got it. Fiercey got her first classic card of the day. That is CJ McCollum. And this is actually a thick card. You see how thick it is on the side? I thought it was a bunch of cards in there. It's just one card. And it's got a piece of CJ McCollum's game-worn jersey in it. So that's pretty cool. I wish I liked CJ McCollum. I would like this card better. But yeah, you know what? I'm going to bring this to the meet and greet on Tuesday when we go to Coach's Open House. And if anybody wants the CJ McCollum jersey card, which it actually has a designation on it, it's a special card, I will give you this. I'm just going to give it to someone. I don't really like him. So I'm just like, hey, whatever. You guys, you want one of this is something y'all can get on Tuesday. I'll bring it to the meet and greet and you'll get it. Fiercey's getting 100 points today for getting CJ McCollum on the jersey card. That's kind of a cool card in some ways. Does anybody want it? Yeah, not Lex getting rid of CJ. I mean, whatever. I mean, he dissed Toronto. He did diss Toronto. And he's kind of a punk. So, yeah, if somebody wants the CJ McCollum game-worn jersey card that I got here, I don't want it. Fuck it. All right, let's see. MSJ saying, Chris is saying, Ben Simmons had really big deal back surgery. Looks to be that's about it for him. Not overblowing this. He likely won't play again. Well, if it isn't because of the surgery and the injuries, it'll be because he doesn't like how much he's getting paid. That guy's such a prima donna. That guy's such a pretty boy. That guy's such a fake. That guy is so full of shit. In fact, he may be studied for years to come about the profile of who you do not want to draft, even if they're super talented. You know, in some ways, this guy is such a loser. And honestly, I think you're right. I don't think he will play again, but it won't be because of injury. It'll be because of his pride, and he won't want to take a pay cut. And that is probably what it's going to be. Fiercely saying Adam Silver is a prude, yet goes for the gambling. Go figure. Yeah, they want to keep it a family-friendly environment. So no 69ing, y'all. Damn it. I wanted to be number 69 on the Raptors. I dreamed of that. What if, like, Kelly Olynyk came in or Zach Edey? Zach Edey shows up. Zach Edey, and he says, hey, Masai, I want to wear 69 for the Raptors. You can't, Zach, but I dreamed of it when I was 3 years old. I dreamed of being on the Raptors, and the number I wanted to wear was 69. I'm sorry, Zach, you can't do that. It's so stupid. It is so dumb. All right, let's keep going. Guardian Transit's here. Good to see Guardian. It's a bit original Raptors freak, one of our guys. We love Guardian Transit. I hope the Raptors scouting crew is working overtime. Looking forward to see if we pick up a diamond in the rough with all our picks coming. Yeah, right now, currently, we have 3 picks in this draft. We may lose the top one to San Antonio. We have a 40% chance as of today to keep our pick from San Antonio. So there's a 60% chance they're taking it. So we want to see that change a little bit more to favoring us keeping it. There's that middle pick in the middle of the first round that we acquired from Indiana. Well, that will be sussed out about where they finish. We'll figure out where that pick is exactly. And similar with the first pick around the first round, the beginning of the second round, that will be the Detroit pick. for where they finish. Now, depending on whether they finish the last or Washington will determine whether we will get the first pick in the second round or the second pick in the second round. So that is where we're picking as of right now in this draft coming up. Guardian, always good to see you, my guy. Fiercely saying Luka has 77. George Mirazan wore 77. There's been bigger numbers. There's been people that worn 80s numbers too. I don't know. It's a weird rule. I feel like in some ways 77 is a double number, so it's allowed, but nobody wears 88. You know, in some ways 88 is a bad number. I mean, I know in Chinese culture the number 8 is not a good luck number in some ways. So I don't know. It's weird. There's no 66 either, but there is 77. And there was 77 with George Mirazan because he was 7'7". So he was allowed to wear 77 back in the day because that was his height. And Sean Bradley was 76 because he played for the Sixers and he was 7'6". So I don't know. There may be special cases, but a lot of those higher numbers that are big, like you don't see anybody wearing any numbers in the 90s, do you? I think we had DeAndre Bembry. He wore like a 95 for us for a little while, I think. Well, the Raptor wears 95, but he's the mascot. I don't know. It's weird. The rules about what jersey numbers you can wear in the NBA, well, 69 ain't on it. You can't wear that for some reason. Chris is saying 69 is banned. Laugh out loud. No player would ever wear it. My God. No, Dennis wanted to wear it. Dennis Rodman wanted to wear it, and they wouldn't let him. They wouldn't let him wear it. Yeah, they say you can't wear 69, Dennis Rodman. Everybody knows you've had sex with Carmen Electra and Madonna. We know Dennis Rodman had sex with Madonna. Come on, y'all. Wasn't he in that sex book that she made? I think he was. There's a picture of Dennis Rodman in the sex book that Madonna made. So, of course, he can't have 69. He's the perfect basketball player to wear 69, honestly. Wayne's here. Good to see Wayne Strainer, the Sergeant Wayne Strainer. Always got good comments and stuff. When the dust settles with our new recruits, effective shooting techniques is the obvious imperative. And Wara and Oshai, if still here, are prime personnel to make use of our development. I see hope. Yeah, in some ways, I'm bigger on Jordan than Oshai. You know, if I'm really thinking about in the future, I think that Oshai will be more expensive than Jordan, but Jordan may be more bang for his buck. In some ways, I really love the Buffalo connection with Jordan Wara. In fact, I might start calling him Buffalo. Buffalo, let's go, Buffalo, like Jack did during the game last night. At some point, the call over Jordan Wara was, let's go, Buffalo. You got to love this. In some ways, it's good marketing for the Raptors to hang on to Jordan Wara because he may have fan base from across the border, and we may get more of a Raptors contingency in the city of Buffalo cheering for us. I often wonder what upstate New York is all about. In some ways, upstate New York loves Toronto, whether it's Leo Routens and his Syracuse ties, whether it's Jack Armstrong being an upstate New York guy who is our guy, our color guy, or it's just, fans get to watch Raptor games on TV across the lake, and they become like Raptors fans like Jordan did in Buffalo. I think that in some ways, MLSC may look at Jordan Wara's presence on this team as being good for business to develop the Buffalo market. So I think that plus is there. And I am not going to hate a young guy who was a Raptors fan and when he was younger playing for the Raptors now. Once again, we know these guys get after it when they're playing for the team they love, like Kelly and RJ and Jordan. In some ways, Jordan Wara is in the same group, even though he's not Canadian, with Kelly and RJ because he's a hometown player. Jordan Wara is a hometown player playing for Buffalo. He's from Buffalo. He's a Buffalo kid. And, well, let's get that Buffalo market more interested in the Raptors by having Jordan Wara on our team long term. That just seems like good business, doesn't it? That may be part of the reason why they want to land him. And it doesn't hurt that Jordan Wara's father is best friends with Masai Ujiri either. Yeah, Nigerian dads, unite. That's what it's all about right there. Yeah, yeah. Let's see. Chris is saying, yeah, weak passes. That was a thing. But I think it's due to a general team confusion. You have to know what to do instantly on offense, and the team isn't there yet. Yeah, there's still signs of being out of place. There may be a pass that Kelly rockets to the corner, and Oshai's supposed to still be there, but he's starting to move towards the basket. That play happened last night. He thought he'd be in the corner, and that's the way they practice it, but Oshai was making a move to the basket. In some ways, it's knowing each other's personal tendencies and what may happen and getting to know it really well. It's kind of crazy how well our offense has been passing among each other with so much of the turnovers. I mean, with the roster, that honestly, that we should not be connecting so well. There should be way more turnovers and less assists because the personnel just don't know each other, but they do. In some ways, Darko's system is very daring and kind of like, yeah, we don't care. We're not trying to limit turnovers like Nick did for the years he was here. We don't care. We're not afraid of turnovers, but we want it to connect. And I'm actually shocked the success of connection with our team right now in the present state of how thrown together and different it is, and how much it's turned over and changed over this season. We have really good synergy in passing. Our turnovers are not as bad as they could be, considering how new everybody is. There could be way more, way more. Yeah, G's saying, as far as drafts and trades, I'm visualizing height and strength. I think that G's right. I think that in some ways we really needed shooters last year. That we were really like, man, we need to get more guys that can shoot. Well, Gary was always along, but in some ways he's shooting better now. Jordan Wara is a shooter, and I could say that. I would say Jordan Wara is a shooter. But I feel like the weakness, especially with Scotty and Jakob out, is we want to shore up the size and the physicality, the rebounding, better defense. And in some ways, maybe the big free agency guy that's mystery that we don't have on the team right now is a size guy. And I think that G's right. I think that this is something we may need in the draft or in free agency, because that's a deficiency. We've overcorrected towards offense and made our team smaller by losing guys like Anunoby, Chua, and Siakam. And now we need to reacquire some of that length and rebounding and defensive stuff this summer. In some ways, we will be as good as our defense. And in some ways, we don't want to be like in such a bad place. We lose our big Austrian. Well, we're fucked in the front line. In some ways, we need to have depth just so we can weather injuries like we've had with Scotty and Jakob a bit better next year. Right now, it's fine to weather them the way we're weathering them. But this summer, we need to get guys, and Kelly is not good enough. We need a power forward. I think we need a four that's kind of like either Serge or Charles Oakley or something like that. We just need a little bit of an enforcer, a little bit more defensive rebounder kind of guy. And I think that's the smart thing on our wish list for the summer. Cool Cat saying, good morning, Raptor Free Cruise. So we actually want to keep our pick. Yeah, I really think we should, and we want to. I mean, we're so close. In some ways, if we whiff this, it's going to feed the haters. It's going to feed a bunch of people that think that our front office is shitty, and they're going to have this thing. They're going to say, yeah, they traded Jakob, and the absolute worst outcome happened. We had the best possible chance to keep our pick, but it somehow landed on the other side, and San Antonio's got the absolute best drafting position that they could have got, 7. That would be the biggest disaster. If we end up in the 7th spot in the lottery draft, after the lottery draft, and San Antonio gets that pick at the highest maximum position that they could have gotten it. And that will be like Michael Grange and Lewinberg and other people fucking talking shit on Twitter saying the Raptors failed. They have lost the pick, and it is going to 7, and San Antonio and Greg Popovich are overjoyed. So, as much as I love the Spurs, and in some ways I would spin it that way if this does happen, I hope it doesn't. I would say, yeah, well, at least the Spurs get the pick, and it's a team I love. But we don't want that, Cool Cat. We don't. And partly it's because we don't want the haters online to have bullets in their gun to talk shit about our front office. And that would probably be it right there. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's see. James is saying after the Pascal and OG trades, we need some length. Yeah. Yeah. You guys are smart. I love this. G's saying the same thing. James is on top of it. It's almost like we're in a committee meeting. And G has made a proposal, and James has stepped up to the other mic and says, I second that. And you know what? I'm going to third that with you guys. I think we do need a little bit more length back to overcorrect for all the length that we lost this season, for sure. Trevor's saying, Lex, take a look at Alex Sarr, 7'1". I think I've looked at Alex Sarr before. I've already looked at a player today, Trevor. Ask me tomorrow, and I'll do Alex Sarr tomorrow. Today's player was Nikola Topic, who I don't give good grades to, honestly. He looks a little slight of build. He looks a little bit too to me. And I'm not into it. We've already got some goofy white kid on our team, and I don't need Topic too. Grady is enough goofy white kid for me on the team. He'll be fine. We don't need Topic. I'm not impressed. Like I said, if you get a player from Europe, get a big. Don't get a guard. Guards from Europe, nah, seriously. No, you get guards from North America. You get bigs from Europe. Yeah, that's just a philosophy I have. I mean, Manu Ginobili's from Argentina. He's not from Europe. Tony Parker, okay. Tony Parker may be the exception, but how many good guards have come from Europe over the years? I mean, you could say go way back and talk about Petrovic, Marcialonis, people like that. But for the most part, and I don't really count Luka because the guy's got size like he's a big almost. Most of the players that come from Europe are bigs that they're skilled. And in some ways, I ain't wanting no point guard from Europe. Nope, I don't want no Nando DeColo. No, I don't. All right, let's keep going. But yeah, Trevor, all due respect, we'll do the Alex Sarr scout on another day. Just remind me. I like to only do one a day because I don't want to make the whole stream a bunch of scouts. And I did one already. Cool Cat saying OG hurt his arm in his return game. Yeah, he's got staples in his arm or stitches, and they're going to be a little raw. It may not actually be the part of his injury that's hurting. It's just they rush him back. He hasn't healed the incision where his surgery happened. And that's what's speculated by media and medical around the New York area, that in some ways, when you cut somebody open, you send him back somewhere, of course he's going to hurt a little bit because there's an incision that's still healing. And that's why they need to take their time with him. You guys got a month till the end of the season. Y'all need to fucking just be patient. Does it matter? Yeah, it does matter where you end up, but it's going to matter a lot more when you don't have OG available for the playoffs because you fucking rushed him back, Knicks. I'm going to say that right now. Yeah. Cool Cat's saying OG is great, but his weird injuries are part of his challenges. You risk losing him for the playoffs. Use Precious as his backup. I think that they've been doing that. I think Precious is more of a backup for Hartenstein or Mitchell Robinson in some ways. But yeah, Precious is definitely getting the minutes when those Knicks are out. But when they're back, he goes back to the bench. Cool Cat's saying we are like Tampa this year. Yeah, we're doing it Tampa right now. We're definitely doing it Tampa right now. Tanka Nation. I mean, we got to game what we're doing with our franchise to the right possible thing. We don't want to have a tank mentality. We'll only call a tank when it's absolutely necessary, and it is right now. We're in the settings where a tank is in our best interest, and collecting L's for the rest of the season is absolutely one of the best things. That's why I say last night's a great game because the Raptors competed. They looked pretty good overall. We saw great young stuff from young players, and we still lost. So, hey, what's not to like? That's right. James is saying we should have kept Precious. He can guard the best player, and Barnes can just focus on offense and creation. I love what you're saying, and I agree with it. I totally agree with it. That's something that I'm annoyed about in some ways about the loss of not having Siakam, Anunoby, and Achua, is that Scotty, in some ways, with them around, could focus on his offense more and put more energy into that end of the court. Well, that's not what Scott wants, apparently, James. Scotty wants to be the best defensive player on the Raptors, and in some ways, OG was in the way. I hate to say it, but he learned a lot from OG and those guys before they left, and they're definitely going to influence Scott. I totally get your philosophy here, and I agree. I wish we could have kept Achua partly for exactly what you're saying, so that Scott wouldn't have to take so much of a brunt of guarding the best player on the other side. In some ways, yeah, that was the luxury of having Anunoby and Achua around for Scotty. In some ways, that's part of the learning curve and the change in his duties and the responsibilities getting increased in this case. I mean, we've seen since OG got traded, Scotty's getting Nikola, Scotty's getting SGA, Scotty's getting the very tough matchups on the other side, Luka Doncic. So, that's just how it is. Scotty's the new best defender guy. He's the new OG plumber. And we got to hope that in the future, Scotty gets better and better as a defender. Now, I want to say something about Jonte Porter right now, because honestly, this guy has some defensive chops. I'm very impressed with Jonte from last night. He was a general shit disturber. He did not make any shots last night. He was 0 for 4. He got 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, and 2 blocks. I like the 3 steals and the 2 blocks. This is the thing. Jonte's in the middle in there, and he kind of looks kind of goofy. He's kind of an awkward guy, and he's nerdy. He's a nerdy guy. Let's just put it this way. He's very nerdy, but there's things about him that I can tell that he studies certain people. Like one of the people that I know he studies is Tim Duncan, because in some ways the way he's playing team defense is very Duncan-esque. Like I want Scotty and Jonte to mimic Tim Duncan as much as they can. He is one of the greatest team defenders in the history of the NBA. And there's certain things that Jonte does when he's in the middle of the court on defense that just absolutely disrupts everything. Whether it's getting a hand here, getting a steal, fronting a guy, he's been knocking the ball loose for the other team left and right in the last couple games. And I'm here for it. Jonte, in some ways, some of the defensive chops and acumen and quickness on defense has been fantastic. You have a lineup of Kelly, Grady, and Jonte out there, and they were playing Kelly and Jonte together a lot last night because Orlando is big. At one point, they did kind of do a Vision 6-9 against us with smaller guys. And Darko counterbalanced it by playing Olynyk with Porter, which I like that look, because when you have Porter and Olynyk out there, you actually have a real front court. We actually have a chance of rebounding. It's too bad we got to use both the centers we have available at the same time. But I do like that lineup, and it looks more like a classical sized lineup when Jonte is playing with Kelly Olynyk. So kudos to Jonte Porter, not for his offense last night because he didn't score, for his defensive presence and being a shit disturber. Really good stuff by Jonte. Very, very good stuff by him. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Let's keep going. MSJ saying, if you read about his convictions, Tyson, you have to wonder if he was railroaded. Who knows? But he is one hell of a survivor. I never liked him much until recently. Well, he's an absolute dirtbag and a piece of shit in the 80s. Yeah. I mean, in some ways, he was a trained killer. He was primed to be this guy. I'm going to fucking destroy you. You know, he's such a crazy, weird person in my childhood. Because on one hand, I see him on my video game, Mike Tyson's Punch Out. It's supposed to be kid friendly, but then I'm hearing about him biting somebody's ear off and doing crazy ass shit in the ring and stuff. Yeah, he's interesting. He's my favorite boxer of all time. He really is. And it really is because of his personality and who he is. Like that when he did the Hangover movies, it really kind of signified when he had made the change with himself. That he just couldn't, he could take himself lightly. He could make a farce of himself. He was so beyond his ego that he could poke fun at himself. And that's an amazing thing that people need to be able to do. You need to be able to be the fool sometimes. And Mike Tyson may have been a ferocious lion most of his life, but he's okay with being the fool at this point. In some ways, that's part of why he's endearing and a little bit more harmless in some ways. Because, you know, he's a scary person when he's younger. You know, I don't understand this guy who was on a plane that antagonized him in recent years. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You're going to fuck with Mike Tyson on a plane? What do you think is going to fucking happen? He's going to smack the shit out of you, and rightfully so. You know, I don't get these people that see NBA players or wrestlers or people that are famous in public, and they want to pick fights with them. I hear all these stories from wrestlers' podcasts about how every time they go to a bar, there's always some jackass in there that wants to see if they're tougher than them. You know, this kind of shit happens to the NBA players too. Charles Barkley has a famous story of throwing a fan out through the window of a Milwaukee bar, right through the plate glass window, took his ass and threw him right through the window because he tried him just like that. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. You gonna fucking try Mike Tyson on a plane? You get what you get. Jack Armstrong. That's right. Bam. Jack Armstrong. Yeah. Fiercey saying, yep, Fiercey Jr. is playing tomorrow. Wish us luck, fam. Let's go, Fiercey Salsera Jr. And get the MVP. Get the big basket. Get the key rebound. Get the shutdown OG Plumman down. Pat on the other team and get that W in the finals. Yes, we are rooting for Fiercey's daughter in her basketball tournament and finals this weekend. Let's go. Let's go. MSJ, you thought that was Damian Lillard? Look at his hair. How is that Damian Lillard? This has a 5 on it. Does this mean this is worth $5? I don't know. $5 for a CJ McCollum Warren jersey, Portland jersey, by the way. Portland. Yeah. Dame Lillard. Fiercely saying, not Lex getting rid of CJ. Yeah. Hey, to highest bidder, there's no bid. I will pay you to take it. That's right. I'm just not a big fan. Like I said, he's the Pelican I don't like. Most of the Pelicans I like, but I do not like CJ. And it's because he slighted the Toronto Raptors franchise. When he's in player representation, he's in the union, and he's supposed to be representing the whole guys. I'm glad Garrett Temple's on our team because he balanced it out. as this jackass has some weird notions about Canada. CJ McCollum, bastard. Yeah, 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 yeah. Chris is saying, can I buy it? I really like him, actually. You don't have to buy it, Chris. You're coming on Tuesday. I will hand this card to you. This is yours, my guy. This is yours for being a great Raptor freak, sticking with me through the years, my guy. I love you, Chris. I know that we haven't always seen eye to eye and we've had our issues, but man, I love the fact that you've rolled with the punches and you're still here with me. So, you know what? This is just yours. I'll see you in line on Tuesday in the morning, and I'll hand it to you when I see you there. Yeah, so you're getting the CJ McCollum jersey worn card. This is yours, my guy. That's right. You got it. You don't have to buy it. Fiercely saying, if nobody wants it and I lose trivia, I'll take it. I like CJ. Well, I'm going to give it to Chris because I'll see him in person. There will be other opportunities, Fiercely. I'm sure with Trevor J commissioning classic cards, there's going to be more of these kind of cards that I'm going to get. Then I'll be like, I mean, there's a bunch of them already done. I'll bring a bunch of them on Tuesday. And if there's any from the collection that you've seen on the show, like if you really want that Kiki Vandaway or that J.R. Reed, I will give them to you guys. I mean, the classic cards just for fun on the channel. And yeah, let's see. You're saying I should keep it? Nah. I'm a giving guy. In some ways, this channel is for all of us. And I'm not all about money and stuff. Like I said, I don't really care about this guy. If it was a Raptor and that was a Raptor red jersey in there, I would keep it. But it's not. It's CJ McCollum, and I hate him. Let's see. Fiercely saying MSJ called it first. Give it to him. I will definitely give it to Chris. And we'll be able to give it to him at the thing on Tuesday. Chris is saying, I would love to have the card, but would buy you lunch or something. You don't even have to do that, Chris. I'm just going to give it to you. Seriously, you guys have been so fantastic. And honestly, y'all are here with me every day. We're family. In some ways, this is not a channel like a normal channel where I'm trying to get money from y'all. In fact, I'll give more to you guys than you give to me. This is how it is. I mean, all right, let's see. Chris is saying, I know that the refs have issues with some numbers as they confuse the scores table when they hand sign them. 8s are bad. That totally makes sense. Chris illuminating the issue with the higher numbers. Because what is it? Like with Luka, how do they do that? Do they do that? They have to do that when they flash the number for who's getting the foul called. This is totally exactly why. You know what, Chris? You're winning today. I'm going to give you a 3-pointer for that really informative, exactly sounds right comment. That it's probably because these motherfuckers only have 5 fingers on each hand. And numbers in the NBA can't be more than that. So it's like if they're talking about Scotty, 4. If they're talking about Jakob Poeltl, 19. How do you do that? How do you do 19 for Jakob Poeltl? You got to have one on down. What, 10, 9? I don't know how you do that. I don't know how you're doing that. But this is a really good point. I think you're exactly right. That they can't do the hand signals right with the numbers because 8s are too much. Chris is also saying Dennis and Vanilla Ice had sex with Luis Ciccone at the same time, laughing my ass off. Totally weird, but they made it into her book. Is her name Louise? I don't think that is her first name's Louise. I'm gonna fact check this. All right, Chris, you're on a roll today, but I want to fact check this. I'm gonna look at Madonna's because I don't remember that being her first name. Is it Louise? That's weird. Is her first? Yeah, it is. Her middle name. Her first name is actually Madonna. Her first name is actually Madonna. Her second name is Louise. So you're using her middle name. So her first name is Madonna Ciccone. Madonna Ciccone, nameless. That's right. Okay, so Dennis and Vanilla Ice had a threesome with her. Really? I know Vanilla Ice was in that book too, but were they together in the book together? Like, oh my gosh, Madonna's so depraved. Her sex book. Well, she wanted to sell some books, so she had to get some celebrities. So she got Dennis Rodman and Vanilla Ice. Ice, baby. Yeah. They made it into her book. You using a euphemism? Her book? Fiercely saying, I can't wait till next season. Well, you got to. I'm sorry. We got to finish the season out. We got to do the playoffs. We got to do the draft. We got to do summer league. We got to do Rico Hines runs. We got to do USA and Canada and all these other teams going to Paris Olympics. Yeah, we got some stuff we got to do before that. All in good time. Let's enjoy the ride. We'll take it as it comes. Right now we get to watch with no pressure. It's kind of liberating in some ways. It's like I'm watching these games, and it's like we can't lose. We're gonna lose. That's losing is winning right now. So in some ways, it's very liberating as a Raptor fan if you're okay with the losing and watching young development, but you understand why it's good for us. You should be fine with what's going on right now. That's how I feel. All right, let me talk about the 905 real quick. We'll do the 3 stars for them real quick. They had a weird game last night. They were similar. Once again, 905 looking similar to the Raptors, leading at times, fighting, but then falling apart at the end and giving a lead and then losing. My number 1 star of the game is once again recently is McCurr has been getting double doubles a lot recently. 21 points, 11 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block, two turnovers, -9, 7 of 10 from the field. He was 2 of 5 from the free throw line. Yeah, Maker, you're making a strong ending to your season. In some ways, I wish you'd done this earlier in the season because, like I said, you could have maybe been on our main roster. But it's like, in some ways, you're doing it right at the end. And in some ways, you're doing it because guys are hurt on 905 and you're getting the opportunity. So I can't hate. I'm really proud of McCurr for his recent play on the team. My 2nd star of the game is Kevin O'Banner. Kevin O'Banner has been a load and been a really good workhorse all season. Really, really liked him this year. He was the highest plus minus for the Raptors 905 last night, a plus 25 in a losing effort, losing by 10. 5 of 6 from the field, including 2 of 3 from 3. He did miss his 2 free throws, 4 rebounds, 1 steal, 12 points. Yeah, I just like the efficiency by O'Banner. Of course, O'Banner is doing a lot of the right stuff. And the other thing about O'Banner is he's one of the better defenders on the 905. Most of the guys down there cannot play defense at all, but Kevin O'Banner is not one of them. The 3rd star of the game is the new guy, Jaden Delaire. I found out his name. His name is Jaden, and his name is Delaire, and he's brand new. He showed up. This is like his 3rd or 4th game for the 905. Well, he's been getting on the stars list. He came off the bench last night for 23 minutes and scored 13 points, a plus 12, 5 of 8 from the field, 1 of 3 from 3, 2 of 3 from the free throw line, 6 rebounds, 3 steals, and a block. So this Delaire guy, and this is the thing, he's a big. In some ways, he's like Jonte from Wish. It's kind of what he reminds me of. He's got a size to him, and he kind of hits threes, and he does different things. He's not as filled out and wide as Jonte, but he's kind of like doing the Jonte role for them right now on the 905. Of course, the Cleveland Charge were led by 2 guys, Sharif Cooper and Zaire Smith or something Smith. Those guys absolutely killed us. 33 for Smith and a double-double for Cooper, who's been a standout for the Cleveland Charge a couple years now. 29 points and 12 assists with 5 steals. So, yeah, they had a couple guys that absolutely destroyed us. Of course, we're going to get to play them again tomorrow, and hopefully we can even up, split the series with them on this trip to Cleveland. So 905, get out there and even the games by beating them tomorrow. I'll have the preview and the refs for that game tomorrow. So there's a little bit of touching on base with what happened with the 905 yesterday in Cleveland against the Cleveland Charge. It was a pretty close game. They were tied with 8 minutes to go, and then the Charge just kind of separated over the end of the game, and they lost by 10. And that's how it went. Yeah. All right, let's see. Cool Cat saying the load of Scotty is not tenable for the long run. You can't guard the best player and still be the offense. It will break down the body faster. Scotty and Wemby are competitors in the same era. Yeah. All right, let me think about this because I understand what you're saying, but if anybody can do this, it's Scotty. In some ways, the jump with his motor and his energy this year, his conditioning, his dedication to getting his conditioning better this past year went up, and he did it. In some ways, what he said to us at the end of the year last year was, I'm not happy with my conditioning. I don't feel like I can do enough on the court to put all the energy out that I need to for 48 minutes defensively. And so he very much worked with a very serious intent last summer to up his conditioning. When we saw a lot of gains with him this season, that's particularly why. I would never doubt Scott on this. There's one thing that Scotty told us on Twitch, Cool Cat, is don't ever doubt me. I don't think that you're right. I think that Scotty can handle all this and do it. In some ways, it may wear him down over time, like you're saying. But on some occasions, he'll be able to do both on certain nights, and it won't be that big of a deal. I would like to give him more help on defensively so he doesn't have to do so much defensively and he can focus on the offense, just like James is saying. I feel like we want to develop Scotty offensively because he has so much gifts and skills and talent that it'd be a shame if he was more of a defensive player, like he's kind of wanting to be, it sounds like. We need you to have your back to the basket and work in the paint, Scott. We need you to take threes. We need you to have the ball on the wing and daring them to either pass, make you pass or drive on them. So there's a couple of things we need you to do. And yeah, sure. I know you want to shut down Nikola Jokic. Sure, I know you want to guard Jimmy Butler. And you can, but we're going to switch it around and put different looks on them too. You're not going to be like OG and just shut down Luka the whole game. We need you to, we're going to put different looks on top players on the other side. We'll put you on him for a while, and then maybe RJ will get him for a little bit. Maybe Jakob will have to guard them a little bit. And I think that's the smart way to deal with this. But I understand your concerns, Cool Cat. We want Scotty to have enough energy to expend it on the offensive end. And if he's playing really heavy defensive responsibilities, that may be harder. That may be harder. I get it. And I agree. Wemby and Scotty are in the same era. And in some ways, Wembayama is going to be a rival to Scott. I can already tell it kind of naturally happening. I can already tell. In some ways, that's part of the reason why I want to get 7'4" Zach Edey, is because if this is the age of where we're going, Zach can maybe like guard Victor a little bit better than some people because he's up there with him. Cool Cat's also saying we're rooting for a junior to get the dub. Let's go. Supporting our own. That's right. Fiercely Salsera Jr. Gonna get out there and triple dub them. Trip dub them. Get him, Fiercely Salsera Jr. Yeah, Chris, you got it, man. Don't worry, my guy. You got it, Chris. This is Chris's card. We have put dibs on this for sure. You're getting the CJ McCollum jersey worn card. That's right. Wayne saying Jonte is well suited for us. However, with his ability to shoot, it's occupational malfeasance. Oh, I love this. Wayne, you just for saying occupational malfeasance, I'm giving you a 3-pointer. That's a 3-pointer. Occupational malfeasance. 22. You got 22. That's pretty good. 22 dunks. For him to attempt shots, especially when on the floor with players not making shots, he will improve. Okay. You're saying that it's occupational malfeasance for him to attempt shots, especially when on the floor with players not making shots, he will improve. You mean you don't want Jonte to shoot as much? See, this is a thing. His shot is such a catapult, his 3-point shot. And he's very good. Like he zeroes in and he hits that shot very well. In some ways, when he shoots it unconsciously and he just has a green light, he can be a huge asset. I really trust his 3-point shot. I don't think that's what you're saying, that you don't want him to shoot the 3. Are you? Because honestly, Darko's encouraging him to shoot the 3 more. Now, he didn't score last night. In some ways, that was a problem. But he did so much defensively, and he was definitely getting after it. If there's one thing I'm watching for the rest of the season with the Raptors, who is not being lazy? Who's busting their ass? Who's getting on the floor? Who's doing things like Ramsey hounding them on defense? Who's hitting the ground on a loose ball play like Grady Dick? Who is scrapping and taking charges like Kelly Olynyk? That kind of stuff I'm really looking at. Oshay Abaji, you're doing certain things on defense doggedly. You're getting in there as a small dog in the big dog fight and getting rebounds and tipping the ball out to other people and the Raptors to get it. Those are the things I'm looking for the rest of the season. The dog, the fight, the effort, the getting after it. In some ways, these guys do this. Well, they may have a future with us. They may have a future with us. Yeah. Yeah. Chris is saying, I will still buy you lunch as this stream makes my work morning much more bearable. Laugh out loud. Whatever you guys do. And sometimes we have these meet and greets and my stuff's all paid for mysteriously. David Saborin. You guys do whatever you guys going to do. I'm going to get the most expensive thing. I'm getting lobster on Tuesday, y'all. All right, let's see. Chris is saying, I've bought a lot of team jerseys over the years. 6, 7, 8, 9, not even allowed in most leagues. Talk to you later. Jim calls to dunk, but given I have put on muscle, I have a feeling jumping high isn't happening. Chris still has this goal to dunk again, that he dunked when he was younger, and he's trying as an older person to dunk it. I'm not saying older person. He's just older than he was. I'm just saying that's interesting. I want to know if he gets this done. I think he's exactly right. I think that the NBA, they haven't needed to use those numbers. Now, if we keep retiring numbers all over the league, like number 6 for Bill Russell, it may eventually get to the point where people need to use more numbers above 50 than they do already. 50 to like 55, that's fine. Tyler Hansbrough. But going up over that, way up high, yeah, you're getting into some trouble when you start getting numbers that are like 56. Is there a 56 in the league? I'm trying to think. No, 57, 58. Nah, you're not going to get many numbers over 55. Not very many at all. That's right. You know who was 99? George Mikan. One of the very first superstars in this league wore 99. That was the number of George Mikan in the very, very early NBA. Very, very early NBA. Yeah. Yeah, let's see. Wayne saying, oops, meant to write not to attempt more shots. Okay, let me read it with you, that word in there. Okay, Jonte is well suited for us. However, with his ability to shoot is occupational malfeasance for him to not attempt to shoot shots, especially when on the floor with players not making shots. Yeah, I think this was a critique I had while I was watching this. Like, they need to go through Jamias and Jonte. When they had that lineup I mentioned earlier that was like Oshai and Jamias, Jonte, Jordan, and Grady. No, it wasn't Grady, because I would have said Grady needs to take the shots. It was very much that the best offensive players were Ramsey and Porter, and that they needed to get the ball going through them more. I don't want to see shots from Bruce Brown. In some ways, Abaji's offense is ugly, and I'm not totally about trying to feed him the ball. I know that because of Darko's system, it's very egalitarian, and it's supposed to be everybody gets a chance, and if that person gets the shot, they shoot it of the whole 5. But in some ways, I don't totally agree with this. I feel like in some ways that they naturally like go a proclivity towards somebody like Gary last night. Kelly passing up shots to give the ball to Gary is what I'm talking about. And what Wayne's saying is some of these guys shouldn't have been taking some of those shots in the middle of the game when they had that lineup. Maybe guys like Abaji and Brown, where Porter should have been taking the shot instead. I will agree with this completely. In fact, that struck me also when I was watching the game last night. That I'm like, I don't want to watch Bruce Brown shooting shots. I want to see Jonte shoot it. I want to see Jeremiah shoot it. That's right. Yeah, Cool Cat saying Abaji needs his 3 to be consistent so he can be a good bench defensive shooting guard. Yeah. Yeah, he needs to start making his shot more consistently. He hasn't shot very well since he's been a Raptor overall, but there's been signs where he can dial in and make open shots too. I think that his strength offensively is attacking, whether it's on trying to get a second attempt off of offensive rebound or slashing towards the basket using his upper body with strength to finish through contact. And a lot of his best stuff is attacking and slashing and stuff like that. His outside shot hasn't impressed me that much, honestly. In some ways, I don't want to encourage him. In some ways, he has to take outside shots because they're going to leave him. He's got to take them. But also at the same time, I'm like, I'd rather him not take the outside shots because I don't have faith in him. Let's just put it that way. All right, we're down to the end of the chat. Let me just do a wrap up and just kind of make sure I didn't miss anything I want to talk about. Let's do the team stats real quick for the Raptors and the Magic last night. Very even team stats overall. The Magic shot 50%. We shot 47%. They got 2 more shots made, and they took 1 less shot. Our free 3-pointers were even. Both teams got 14 threes, and they weren't that much different in shooting percentage. Free throws were a problem last night. This is one of the areas where we had losing culture. But like I said, how much of that was on purpose? Like Emmanuel missing 3 out of 6 free throws. That's fishy. Kelly Olynyk missing both the free throws he took last night. That's fishy. That's very fishy. And these guys trying to submarine us on the down low. Well, the free throw line, we could do that a little bit. But yeah, missing 7 free throws mattered in a 10-point loss, especially since they only missed 3 free throws and they had 86% shooting. We had 65% shooting. We actually out-rebounded them by 1 last night. That's pretty good, considering the height of the Magic team is much taller than us, and we were outsized, and we still beat them on the boards. I would say that is probably more likely because of hustle and outworking them, honestly. Assists, only 24 assists for the Raptors. We could have connected better. The turnovers were 16, so that's not very good. Assist to turnover ratio, 24 to 16 for the Raptors. That is a big problem right there. And that was alluded to by us talking about not being careless with the ball with passing and talking about that kind of stuff. Because there was a lot of that last night. When we get a steal or something good would happen, and then we turn the ball right back over to the Magic like a couple seconds later. And that was no good. That was no good. We did get out on the fast break, though, at times 37 fast break points. That is a good sign because on this West Coast trip recently, we were stymied on the fast break a lot. Well, it's good to see we got out and ran last night. They beat us in the points in the paint, though, 52-42. Yeah, just a little look at the box score real quick on how things went last night. I can go look at a couple more of the guys that I didn't really mention from the box score also. Kelly Olynyk, 5 of 12 last night, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 6 fouls, fouled out, 10 points. Kelly was funny. Kelly's ugly. Kelly's got these flip shots. Kelly is dirty. Kelly does travel. Kelly does do all these goofy things, but you know what? I love him. In some ways, he's just so awesome. And I got a feeling that, like, Kelly's mom working for the Raptors when he was very young, I feel like Kelly came to games and he maybe knows Herbie already. Like, Herbie's been with our team since the very beginning. Herbie has been our guy in the arena the very beginning, first day of the Raptors for 25 going on 30 years. And Herbie probably knew Kelly when he was a little kid because Kelly like grew up in Toronto a little bit and his parents were working around the team. So I have a feeling because like when I saw Kelly come in the game, he had a special little like familiarity with Herbie Kuhn at the scorers table when they're getting ready for the game. And I'm like, man, I get the vibes that these guys like that Herbie has known Kelly since he was a child. And that's kind of got to be surreal for our announcer in arena announcer Herbie Kuhn to see a kid like Kelly Olynyk that was around because his parents were around the team grow up and be on the team, and now he's announcing him as a starter, as a player on the team. That's just something I wanted to note real quick. That maybe a hidden connection that people don't realize that Herbie Kuhn knows Kelly really well, partly because he worked with his mother in ways. That's pretty cool. Let's see. I've already talked about them. Grady, let's talk about Grady a little bit more. His stat line was bad in a lot of ways. He was a minus 32, 3 for 9, 0 for 3 from 3, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block, 8 points. Now, Grady was not horrible, though. Like, it was like he had a bad game, and Darko talked about it after game. He wasn't totally thrilled with Grady last night. In fact, he alluded to saying this. He said, Grady may have to be on the bench again for the next learning lesson is what Darko said about Grady last night. So he wasn't pleased with Grady at all last night in some ways. He was happy with effort, happy with the continued learning, but he's also being very constructively critical with them. Bruce Brown wasn't bad, 5 of 8 from the field, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, 12 points. But is that worth $22 million? That's what you got to ask yourself with Bruce Brown. Whenever you're watching him right now, is he worth spending $22 million on next season? I don't think he does. I don't think he is. And that's just my own opinion. That's how I feel about it. So, yeah. All right. Just going a little bit more in depth on some of the guys I didn't touch on from the game last night. Yeah. All right. Let me see. There's Instagram stories. Mr. New York City has been posting out all kinds of stuff on Twitter. In fact, let me go look at him first, real quick. He has been saying some crazy stuff. Some it's mixed stuff. In some ways, I feel bad for this guy, but it is what it is. All right, so basically, what is he saying? Oh, that's not the right Mr. New York City. Maybe I shouldn't try and find this right now. It's always like Twitter never shows me what I want to find when I'm looking for it. It's so stupid. Hang on. You know what? I won't worry about that. I'll only do the Instagram stories. He's got a picture of him in the 905 on the court, and it's saying no fire. Can burn me. No fire can burn me. No battle can turn me. No mountain can stop me because you hold my hand. And he's talking about the Lord above, looking out for Marquise as the chosen one. He's going to make his way back, is what he's saying. Jordan Wara showing a clip of him dunking, and he got a late night delivery last night from the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills have sent him swag. It looks like a Buffalo Bills jacket, T-shirt, jersey, all kinds of Bills stuff from the football team, the NFL. And Jordan, of course, being a Buffalo guy, is probably eating it up. He's on fire. He's Bills Mafia. So he's all about getting that Buffalo swag pack last night. Very, very cool. I think that's it. There's not really a whole lot of Instagram stories right now. I think that's pretty much it. Let me see. Is there anything else I wanted to cover today? I think that's it. Just if you have a fantasy basketball team, go ahead and set it up and get it playing. Let's see what's going on with David and Peter. David is beating Peter still. He's beating him by 130 points this week. Number one versus number two. So David, wow, good job there. Yeah, yeah. Let's see. Cool Cat is saying Abaji needs his three to be consistent. I said that already. In today's NBA game, every player must shoot threes as a basic skill now. I think this is true. I think this is totally true. It's just absolutely necessary. If you can't shoot threes, you can't play in the NBA. The old age of like being a specialty player that doesn't have to shoot threes is all done. I think it's officially like this. I think Cool Cat's exactly right. Fiercely saying Team Canada captain Kelly Olynyk. That's right. That's right. We love Kelly. And sometimes I was thinking about last night. Kelly is like a Canadian sports icon. He really is. And the end of it all, he's going to have a resume and a look to him that people will need to do Canadian heritage moments for. In some ways, we talk about Steve Nash, we talk about RJ Barrett, we talk about Rowan Barrett, we talk about Leo Routens, we talk about Sherman Hamilton. This is a guy that's going to be in that category of great Canadian athletes that played for Canada in basketball that needs to be celebrated and honored as a hero forever. In some ways, I'm not going to say he's like Terry Fox, but in some ways, Kelly is an underrated Canadian sports hero that is going to deserve his shine, especially since he's on the Raptors now, and hopefully because of things that happen in Paris this summer. So I'm all about it. Your last comment here, Fiercey, prayers up for RJ and his family. There's more speculation on this. Michael Grange has a very interesting article that came out yesterday talking about how the Barrett family has been on top of things and winning, with Team Canada doing so well, RJ returning to the Toronto to play for the Raptors. And, there's just a lot of great things happening for that family. The tragedy of Nathan's passing this week is really kind of thrown everything into a weird place. Man, I wonder about RJ's drive. I wonder about how much he's going to dedicate things to his brother as far as like, what is this going to do with his compete level? I mean, I hate to be selfish in this situation, this tragic situation, but as a Raptors fan and as a Team Canada fan, I wonder about the desire and the will and the fight in him and how that may be different. We know Siakam played for his dad. We know Anunoby had a certain competitive fire from people that he lost in his life too. This will be an interesting effect to see as time goes on. Is RJ going to dedicate the rest of his career to his brother Nathan? This is a high probability of this. A high probability of this. And the outcome and the energy and the way RJ plays going forward will be noted for this. Watch. I can see this. All right, let's wrap it up, guys. Thanks for going over the losses with me, the L's. It sucks. It is what it is. We shouldn't try and get used to this, but it's okay for now. And we'll just go ahead and roll with the punches. We're going to go to Orlando tomorrow and play Orlando on their own court, which they have an even better record in. I love what Jack and Matt were saying last night. Jack Armstrong kind of throwing shade at the Orlando Magic on the down low, saying that, playoff teams have good road records. Well, the Magic don't necessarily have a good road record. And Jack saying that the indicator of a really good team that's built to go far in the playoffs is a good road record. So he's kind of throwing shade at the Magic, saying that he doesn't think that they're going to go far in the playoffs last night. That's kind of what he was saying last night. I was looking at stats yesterday because I really wanted to look at the history of the Raptors with our records over the years. Of course, our third season was our worst season. We got only 16 wins. Now, I want to tell Raptors fans like this. If you are a little pessimistic about the Raptors and Darko Rajakovic right now, well, listen to this. The very first year Dwayne Casey coached the Raptors, he won 23 games. That's how many games we've won right now. It's very likely we'll win at least one more game, if not get to 25 by the end of the season. And in that way, that would be good because, we don't want to be one of the absolute worst seasons of the history of the Raptors, but it is going to probably be like that. But just so y'all know, Dwayne Casey, the first year he was with us, won only 23 games. And then after that, you saw the development curve and how the wins grew over the seasons after that. So sit tight, Raptors fans. The curve of getting growth and more wins after a bad initial season is there in the history of Dwayne Casey's tenure with the Raptors. That's something to think about. 23 wins for Coach Case, his first year as a Raptors coach. Well, we know how many times he made the playoffs and how many 50-win seasons he got after that. So sit tight. People are making your decisions on Darko Rajakovic already, and understand the career arc of Dwayne Casey as the coach of the Raptors. All right, y'all. Oh, Monique is here. Good morning, Raptor Freak family. Good game by Gary. Yeah, I agree with you. All right. On that note, thanks for watching me today. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. for the preview of the games tomorrow. Let's go, Raptors. Let's go, Raptors. Let's go, Coach Scotty. Let's go, Raptors. Let's go, Raptors.